Lithia Subaru of Fresno proudly sponsors tonight's first segment of Eyewitness News. Lithia Subaru of Fresno. Subaru confidence in motion. Now, CBS 47 Eyewitness News begins with breaking news.
A suspicious item is blown up as a precaution tonight in Clovis. This is in the area 5 this afternoon. A concerned citizen called police after spotting someone getting out of a car in the area and leaving a large item on the sidewalk. The bomb squad was called in. It turns out the item was a small metal safe. Crews rendered it safe with a small blast before opening it up.
Right now, it appears that the items that were inside of this safe were just personal items. It doesn't illegal or anything dangerous in it.
The intersection of Spruce and Willow is back open tonight. Police say at this point the only charge facing the person who left the safe is a littering charge. A developing story in the Bay Area, a kidnapping caught on camera. A stranger walks into a San Jose home and walks out with a 3-month-old baby. Police say Brandon Cular's grandmother was watching him while the boy's mother was at work. The grandmother was unloading groceries when a man walked in and took the baby.
You don't love anything more than you love your child, right? This mother right now is going through a very, very bad time, right? As well as grandma, right? Grandma was left in charge of the baby. The baby is now gone. If you have that baby, please get a hold of us.
Police said the kidnapper arrived with his own baby carrier. Investigators say they do not believe the suspect is homeless based on his appearance. One of the men convicted of kidnapping a school bus carrying 26 children in Chowchilla back in 1976 could be released soon by the state of California. CBS 47's Jennifer Ortega spoke to the Madera County District Attorney, and she joins us live in the studio. Jen, they're trying to reverse the parole grant.
Esteban, the Madera County DA says they're going to try their hardest to keep now 70-year-old Frederick Woods behind bars.
There's really no reason to be releasing these violent felons back into our community at the rates we're doing it now.
70-year-old Frederick Woods has been in prison for 46 years after being convicted of being one of 3 men who kidnapped dozens of children and a bus driver, then demanded $5 million for ransom.
It is the largest kidnapping of its kind in the history of our nation.
This happened back in 1976 when Woods was 24 years old. Officials say Woods held the group of children hostage for 16 hours, more than 100 miles away in a sweltering trailer buried at a gravel quarry.
These 3 men, when they left them there, had no intention of coming back. And it's just by the grace of God that they managed to get out and save their own lives.
Woods was sentenced to 7 years to life in prison. And now Sally Moreno, the Madera County DA, says with parole hearings being sped up, Woods could walk free in 5 months.
From where I sit, it seems like he has not been a model prisoner. He has misconduct relatively recently in his past, including possession of pornography and possession of cell phones.
Moreno says the governor doesn't have the power to reverse Woods' grant of parole. The Madera DA says that's because he did not commit a murder. That's why they're requesting all of the parole officers to review the case.
These people, they're adults now, you know, they shouldn't have to run the risk of running into this man in a supermarket when they're out shopping or on vacation.
At Woods' most recent hearing, 2 survivors of the kidnapping spoke in favor of his parole, while multiple others opposed it.
That's our last and best chance to get a reversal in this case. Otherwise, he will be released.
Now, the other 2 kidnappers in this case have already been released, one in 2012, the other in 2015. The DA's request will be submitted in the next several weeks. If rejected, Woods could be out of prison by this fall. In the studio, Jennifer Ortega, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Jennifer, thank you. In the South Valley, the owners of Bubba's Liquor in Hanford are accused of selling alcohol without a license. CBS 47's Catherine Phillips spoke with Hanford police about the operation that led them there and why this isn't the first time the business has faced trouble with the law.
Just a few weeks ago, say that the owner and workers were accused of soliciting prostitution to customers. Their liquor license was revoked, but during an undercover operation on Thursday, Hanford police say the owner tried selling to one of their undercover agents. Hanford police have seized nearly 300 cases of beer, wine, and hard liquor from Bubba's Liquor on 10th Avenue after police say they've been selling liquor without a license.
Seizing the alcohol like we did is a pretty rare thing, but it just, we didn't feel that the owner of Bubba's Liquor was understanding the ramifications of what had taken place, and we felt he would continue to sell alcohol even though we just gave him a ticket.
Sergeant Chris Barker says this isn't the first time the owner of Bubba's Liquor, 59-year-old Jaspinder Dylan Singh, has been in trouble with authorities. Barker says back in March, a tip about the owner and workers soliciting prostitution at the store brought alcohol beverage control agents to investigate Bubba's Liquor. That operation led to the liquor license at Bubba's getting revoked for at least a year after a worker solicited an ABC agent for prostitution. On Thursday, during a minor decoy and shoulder tap investigation, Hanford police stopped by Bubba's.
Just the temptation is there, and sure enough, he sold to an undercover officer.
Police say the owner was given time to return the alcohol to distributors after his license was revoked, so it wasn't too suspicious that there was still liquor on the shelves. But even with signs on the door and throughout the store saying they couldn't sell alcohol, police believe this wasn't the only time he's made an illegal sale. Police say now it's likely he'll never have a liquor license in the city of Hanford again.
Just some of his statements to the undercover officer, telling him to put it in his pocket and to come back again, that it led us to believe that this probably wasn't the first time that he's sold to somebody with his license revoked.
While the store doesn't have their liquor license, they still have their business license, so Hanford police say they are allowed to stay open. Reporting in Hanford, Catherine Phillips, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
We are ending a warm day to start the week with temperatures this afternoon in the mid and upper 80s. We are going to cool down a little bit tomorrow, but we're still going to be running above average for the next couple of days. Let's go ahead and give you a look outside with our Valley Cam network. I'm going to take you through a time lapse from our CBS 47 studio camera. Starting out this afternoon, notice we had a lot of sunshine today, but evening hours, the clouds started to roll in, and that's what we're seeing right now, partly cloudy skies. It is still in the 70s if you are in Fresno or Hanford. Otherwise, we do have 60s across the valley. Midnight temperature 66 will drop down to the 50s for our lows tonight. 60 at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then 79 by 5 p.m. I mentioned a cool down on the way. I'll let you know when temperatures will really bottom out in your pinpoint weather forecast coming up. First, we'll send it back to Esteban.
Thank you, Lauren. We have continuing coverage on a deadly shooting in northwest Fresno. It happened at the Palm Mission apartment complex on Palm Avenue near Escalon. Police say 4 men were inside an apartment unit when an argument led to gunfire. Police say the victim was a man in his 30s who died at the scene.
Several individuals left on foot and 1 individual left on a vehicle. So as soon as we develop further information as far as the actual license plate on the suspect vehicle and our description, we'll be providing it to the media as soon as we can.
This is the 16th homicide in the city of Fresno so far this year. Last year at this time, there were 26. Death. An arrest is made in the shooting death of a 19-year-old man in Visalia. Police found the body of Michael Montoya early Saturday morning in the area of Sewell Street and Howard Avenue. Officers say 21-year-old Giovanni Castaneda was identified as a suspect and was arrested on suspicion of homicide. There's no word yet on a motive for this shooting. The victim of a deadly hit and run in Selma has been identified. The coroner's office says 58-year-old Daryl Bagwell was walking on Rose Avenue west of Highland when he was hit Friday night. The driver didn't stop, but his front bumper and license plate were left at the scene. 27-year-old Pedro Cortez was tracked down not far from the scene. He's facing charges of felony DUI, vehicular manslaughter, and felony hit and run. Mayors of California's biggest cities got together in Sacramento to talk about an upcoming crisis involving their homeless population. The city leaders, including Fresno's Mayor Jerry Dyer, say they are facing a so-called fiscal cliff created by the ending of state funding programs that have helped more than 25,000 unhoused citizens.
You know, you can have a great plan and you can have great partners, but if you don't have the funding to support that plan and to pay for those partners' resources, then failure is looming.
Our police departments, medical response teams, shelters, parks, sidewalks, those are bearing the brunt of California's mental health and substance abuse crisis. We need help.
The group known as the Big City Mayors are asking for $3 billion in state funds for the Homeless Housing Assistance and Prevention Program and the Homeless Emergency Aid Program. For the past few years, the state has funded these programs, but only through one-time funds. In other news, new video shows actor Alec Baldwin talking with the Santa Fe Sheriff's Department after cinematographer Helena Hutchins was killed during an accident on the set of the movie Rust in October.
I take the coat over the thing, the camera's there. I believe, my recollection is she was there, turned a bit, like talking to him. So I think she was hit in the right armpit.
The video also shows Baldwin doing takes just before that fatal shot. Baldwin would later go on to claim the gun misfired when he pulled it out.
I take the gun out, and as I take, like as it clears, as the barrel clears, I turn and cock the gun over here. I turn and cock the gun goes off.
The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office says the investigation remains open and ongoing as it awaits the results of ballistics and analysts from the FBI. Top Biden administration officials met today in Kyiv with the leader of Ukraine. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin met for about 3 hours with President Volodymyr Zelensky and his staff. They are the highest-ranking U.S. officials to make that trip there since the Russian invasion began. During the visit, the pair announced that the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv will reopen in the coming weeks. And American diplomats will start making day trips into the country next week.
We're doing it carefully. We're doing it with the security of our personnel foremost in mind.
Meantime, the U.S. Secretary has also announced $700 million in military financing for Ukraine and nearby allies amid Moscow. Ukraine. Also today, Russian forces launched strikes against Ukrainian railways, which are vital to moving supplies and evacuating civilians. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 11, a two-vehicle collision ends up in a homeowner's yard in Fresno County. Plus, a look at new airborne technology to give us a new picture of the valley's underground water supply. And a new California bill to bring more darkness back to the night. We'll explain. We're back in a little over a minute. Stay with us.
The three-row Subaru Ascent. Room for up to 8 passengers. Standard EyeSight driver assist technology. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus up to 27 miles per gallon. Coming from Kelley Blue Book's most trusted and best overall brand for 2021. The three-row Subaru Ascent. Love is now bigger than ever.
Get to Subaru of Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Hello, you beautiful people.
Weeknights on CBS.
The 2022 draft coverage is brought to you in part by Toyota. This is CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Take a look. after a violent crash in Fresno County that ended up with both vehicles landing on someone's front lawn. The CHP says the man blew through a stop sign at Clayton and Chestnut and T-boned the women in the pickup. Both the man and the woman were pinned inside their vehicles and had to be pulled out by firefighters. In news from around the state, California lawmakers are considering a bill that would be a first step in bringing darkness back to the night. Casting excess light into the sky is increasingly being seen as a form of pollution with real impacts on the environment. This is San Francisco, and if you take a step back, you can see a huge dome of light enveloping the city. Now, scientists are saying these lights also have impacts on birds as they migrate through the Bay Area.
Birds are adapted for flying at night in darkness, not in light. And their vision at night actually depends on darkness in order for they actually sense the magnetic fields of the Earth. And when it's too light, they can't sense them and they get disoriented.
Assemblymember Alex Lee introduced the bill that would require all lights installed or replaced on state buildings to have shields on top or be motion activated. We're about to get a new picture of what groundwater looks like beneath the Central Valley. The California Department of Water Resources is deploying cutting-edge technology that can see underground water. It's an electrified coil suspended from a helicopter that's used to create an image of underground features. This will provide a never-before-seen picture of where water is, how much there is, where it is rising, and where it's falling.
Many cool new technologies that the department is implementing in addition to forecasting improvements.
It will take 3 years to map all the basins through Central California. Residents will be informed before flights take place in their area. Still to come on Eyewitness News at 11. Counting down to the NFL Draft. We'll have a preview right after your Pinpoint weather forecast.
And right now I do have your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy. Your top pollens will be oak, birch, and poplar. Expect medium-high levels for the next 4 days. It was a warm start to the week, but temperatures will be falling for the next couple of days. I'll be talking about a cool down in your Pinpoint weather forecast next.
You never take a break. And we won't either. Adding more local news to our award-winning lineup. CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 5, 6, 7, and now 7:30.
Introducing Frog Tape Pro-Grade Painter's Tape, the only blue tape good enough to be called Frog Tape. Available exclusively in a contractor multi-pack. Frog Tape Pro-Grade combines the value of a traditional blue painter's tape with paint block technology that makes Frog Tape Painter's Tapes #1 for sharp lines. How does it work? Paint block technology forms a micro barrier to seal the edges of the tape and prevents paint bleed, delivering the paint line performance you expect from the Frog Tape brand. Frog Tape Performance, priced for the pro.
When you drive a Honda, the adventures go on and on. Follow your adventures with the rugged power of Honda. The brand owners are calling the most fun to the dealer. New vehicles are arriving daily.
You're different from the other kids. You're so mature. It'll be our secret.
These are things that abusers say to gain the trust of kids. When the abuser is a priest, it's even more devastating for the child who trusted them. For over 30 years, Jeff Anderson has been fighting for survivors of child sexual abuse in California. If you were sexually abused, it's time to take your power back. Call Jeff Anderson and Associates confidentially today. 1-800-IT'S-TIME.
When nature calls, make sure you're ready to answer. With the most awarded lineup of SUVs ever. Get 0% APR for 72 months on the all-new 2022 Wagoneer during the Jeep Celebration event. Going on now. Come experience the Clovis difference.
The 2022 draft coverage is brought to you in part by Personal Express Insurance. Now, your CBS 47 Pinpoint weather forecast.
Good evening and welcome back. I'm Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace. A warm start to the week with temperatures Average high of 76 degrees. We're going to cool down a little bit tomorrow, but we're still going to stay above this average high temperature for the next several days. It's 71 in Fresno now, Hanford 71, Visalia, you're at 69 this evening. Merced, we have mid-60s on the map, 50s for those of you in Mariposa. We've been feeling the breeze off and on this evening. Right now, the wind in Fresno is sustained at 9 miles per hour, but if you are in Hanford or Lemoore, you're at 14 miles per hour, 13 in Madera and Merced, and it is quite breezy if you're in Los Banos at 17 miles per hour on average across the valley. Both tonight and tomorrow, we're going to be feeling the wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour. So at times, we are going to get that breeze up to 15 miles per hour. Here's a look at the last 12 hours with our radar satellite loop. For much of today, we had nothing but blue sky, but late afternoon and evening hours, notice we had the clouds starting to stream in. So those are going to stick around tonight and tomorrow. Do expect partly cloudy skies for the next 24 hours. That's all ahead of a cold front that's going to move through tomorrow. It's not only pushing the clouds in, it's also bringing us the breeze, and then we're going to get some cooler air filtering in behind the front. It's not much of a cool down. As I mentioned, we're still going to be staying above average. So here's our forecast. 11 o'clock this evening through tonight, partly cloudy skies. Here's the start of tomorrow. Do expect to see a few clouds around tomorrow as well, so we'll stay partly cloudy with that on and off again breeze. Here's 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Tuesday night will clear out. Here's 7 o'clock on Wednesday morning, and then do expect mostly sunny skies on Wednesday. Temperatures still in the 80s at this point. For tonight, we do have 50s on the way. For those of you in Merced, 51 for your low, and then 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon. So again, still in the 80s tomorrow, just not as warm as today. Fresno 57 tonight, 81 tomorrow, and then heading into the South Valley. If you're in Tulare, you'll drop to 54 tonight and then 82 tomorrow. Foothills, Oakhurst, 44 degrees tonight. You'll be at 72 tomorrow afternoon. And then in Springville, 55 tonight, mid-70s for your Tuesday high. Yosemite Valley, 68 tomorrow. Sequoia National Park will be in the low 50s. Partly cloudy skies for the Sierra as well. Here's a look at your extended forecast. 81 tomorrow and Wednesday. By Thursday, we'll drop back to 74. More of a breeze. By Friday, upper 70s. So Thursday, Friday, your two cooler days this week. And then 80s return this weekend and into next week. In the Sierra, we do have 50s on the way tomorrow. 60s Wednesday, back down to the 50s on Thursday and Friday. 60s return this weekend and for next Monday. There's a look at your forecast. We'll send it back to Esteban.
Lauren, thank you. We're only a few days away from the 2022 NFL Draft. In anticipation of this year's draft, we're sharing what are considered the top draft picks of all time. Ron Futrell has the picks.
Okay, we'll start with our number 5 pick. I'm going with Bart Starr, legendary Green Bay Packer quarterback, was chosen in the 17th round of the 1956 draft, 200th overall out of Alabama. Now, Starr was a 5-time NFL champ, was the MVP of the first 2 Super Bowls, and there were actually only 12 NFL teams at the time, and the draft had 30 rounds that year. And how about the Cowboys' Roger Staubach, played in 5 Super Bowls, was the MVP in Super Bowl VI, but on draft day, 1964, the quarterback out of Navy, was a 10th rounder, 129th overall. Chicago Bears, by the way, took Larry Rackenstraw 2 rounds before Staubach was chosen. At number 3, I'm going with Brett Favre, quarterback out of Southern Miss, taken by the Atlanta Falcons in the 2nd round, 33rd overall. Became a Hall of Famer with the Packers and Vikings. 11 Pro Bowls. The Raiders took Todd Marinovich 9 picks before Favre was chosen. The number 2 pick, taken in the 3rd round, 82nd overall by the San Francisco 49ers. He's out of Notre Dame, Joe Montana. 4 Super Bowl wins, 3 Super Bowl MVPs. The Niners made a pretty good pick in that 1979 draft. And number 1, and you know where we're going here, he was taken in the 6th round, 199th pick in the year 2000. That would be Tom Brady out of Michigan. Went on to win 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, 1 with the Buccaneers. So far, he may not be finished yet.
And we are just 3 days away from the draft 2022. Stay with CBS 47 for continuing coverage. Sports Central's Andrew Martin will be live in Las Vegas covering one of the NFL's biggest events. Coming up in sports, the Fresno State men's basketball roster. A couple players with Valley ties appear to be on their way out. Sports Central is next. Stick around.
Lin's Fusion will keep you coming back to the Asian Fusion Buffet. Enjoy endless choices of sushi, hibachi, and all your favorite mouth-watering favorites. Bring your appetite for lunch and dinner every day. Lin's Fusion, near Whitey's Pets on Blackstone.
Owning a house It's an oasis, a restaurant, a theater. It's home. At Golden One, we get it. Big or small, we work with you to reach your goals. And as a not-for-profit credit union, we'll help you find better loans and rates, so owning your home is more possible than ever. So join us. Let's make your dream home happen.
Each of our patients has lived a significant story, and that deserves significant care. From physicians and registered nurses attending to end-of-life medical care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to skilled social workers and spiritual counselors connecting you to tangible resources and long-lasting hope. 100% of the service by Medicare. Not all hospices are the same. Ask for us by name. Cahuilla Health Hospice.
Serious injuries require a serious attorney. That's why more and more people choose Jacoby & Myers. We get insurance companies to pay up to 10 times more. That means more medical and financial assistance. Choose Jacoby & Myers.
Today's health crisis has made keeping your company compliant more challenging than ever. HR Mobile Services is here to guide you through these difficult times. We assist with human resources, infectious disease response, safety compliance, policies and procedures, and more. Let HR Mobile Services help you create a safe and compliant their work, and you can focus on your business. Big or small businesses from all industries, call HR Mobile Services. Here for you 24/7.
Ramen Hayashi brings hearty ramen bowls and great hospitality to you. Enjoy custom broths, noodles, and toppings. Your smile in an empty bowl are our goal. Dine in or order for pickup or delivery every day. Ramen Hayashi, Herndon and Fowler in Clovis.
Now YourCentralValley.com, pros who know.
Stay healthy. Boost your immune system at Madge Medical Clinic with our special high-dose IV vitamin C therapy. Call 559-740-7989.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Central California Legal Services. Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
Reports indicate nearly 1,500 college basketball players have entered the transfer portal since the season ended. So volatility with rosters from year to year, just a new reality that coaches are managing. Fresno State, no exception. And we learned Monday, 7-foot sophomore center Braxton Mia has entered the transfer portal. Mia, who considers Fresno his hometown and played his junior year of high school ball at San Joaquin Memorial, played sparingly in his 2 years as a Bulldog. This past season, he only averaged a little over 2 points and 2 rebounds per game, but he showed some promise late in the season in helping the Bulldogs win the Basketball Classic. Mia also had some big Pac-12 offers coming out of high school. Also entering the transfer portal Monday was another Bulldog with Fresno roots, Deion Stroud. Stroud, who played his first 2 years of high school ball, also at San Joaquin Memorial, came to the Dogs after spending a year with Rodney Terry at UTEP. Now, he played well 2 years ago for the Bulldogs, but really struggled to find a role this past season in which he averaged just over 5 points per game. College football also heavy with transfers right now. And another Central Valley product who had been going through spring ball with the Dogs, former Sunnyside star Sherwin King, also in the portal now. King seemed to be emerging in 2020 when he played in all 6 Bulldog games, but didn't appear in any. Meantime, fresh off capturing its 2nd straight conference title over the weekend, the nationally ranked Fresno State women's water polo team held a watch party on campus Monday where the Dogs learned their opponent for the upcoming NCAA championships taking place next weekend in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The Dogs have a tough draw. They're going to get 2nd seeded and defending national champ USC in the quarterfinals on May 6th.
Our whole mantra as a program is just to be disruptive and to, stir the pot a little bit. And as you guys heard, the only 3 teams have ever won a national championship in the women's game. You have USC, Stanford, and UCLA. And so it's the reason I'm here. It's the reason a lot of these athletes are here is to disrupt and at least make them scared a little bit.
The Dogs will enter the tourney on a 16-game win streak. Now, they lost 15-11 at USC back in early February, but hey, they've got a puncher's chance here. Finally, that video looked better than the rest from Monday. It's Bemis' best.
There's been a lot of comparisons between him and his stuff and his strike and the way it works.
Taylor Ward drives that one. Center field! He beat! Now that one's gone!
What a night for former Bulldog Taylor Ward. took former AL Cy Young winner Shane Bieber just barely over that yellow line in the 5th for a homer. Then 2 innings later, Ward finishing off the first 2-homer game of his career. Also helped the Halos win 3-0. Perhaps more importantly, also gets Ward. Cool cowboy hat there. He's off to a sizzling start through the Angels' first 17 games. He's hitting .367 with an OPS over 1100, showing why he was a former first-round pick. Esteban, back to you.
And we'll be right back. Thank you, Scott.
About a big truck is big. Big tires, big gas tank, big engine. And in an accident, big injuries. When it comes to truck wrecks, I know what I'm talking about. I'm attorney Tom Dunyan. Call me. It's just that easy.
Toyota's Make It Yours sales event is on now, with new Toyotas arriving daily.
Take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine.
Get low financing on RAV4 and Highlander, including hybrids, or get $1,000 bonus cash when you finance with Toyota on 4Runner.
I said, are you gonna be my girl?
It's time to make a new Toyota yours. Toyota, let's go places.
See the outrageous discounts at Daily Deals Discount Store. We have your favorite products from big box stores at up to 90% off. At Daily Deals, the longer the product stays on the shelf, the more the price drops. With $9 Fridays, $7 Saturdays, $5 Sundays, $3 Mondays, $1 Tuesdays, and 25-cent Wednesdays. Closed on Thursday for restocking. We have everything you need: appliances, electronics, kitchen, and household products. Every day is a deal at Daily Deals. Come check out their new location at Shaw and Marks.
Quality Foster Care is looking for resource families who are able to create a home for children who have been displaced. Since 1995, we've served every child the opportunity for a successful future. Quality Foster Care offers resource families support, ongoing training, and monthly reimbursement. In turn, you offer these children hope, guidance, and nurturance. Call today for your orientation. Make a difference in the life of a child. Open your home and become a resource parent.
Hi everyone, I'm Dwayne Peralta, President of Personal Express Insurance. For nearly 40 years, Personal Express has been known in the Central Valley for our great rates. But our customers also come with us and stay with us because of what we like to call our local advantage. I'd like to invite you to stop by any of our locations to find out just what the Personal Express local advantage means to you.
With offices in Fresno, Clovis, and Visalia. Great rates with the local advantage. Personal Express Insurance.
Here at Central Floor Supply, our warehouse is filled with name brand waterproof flooring and luxurious carpet. Like our Mohawk Smartly Durable. Before you go to the big box stores, come check us out first. Call Central Floor Supply.
In Los Angeles County, a bear in Sierra Madre took advantage of the sunshine today. Taking a stroll in the neighborhood, residents noticed him lumbering around, and at one point, he was even peeking into the windows of homes. He played hide and seek with police and animal control while they tried to track him down. The bear was last seen disappearing into the bushes behind some homes. And Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace joining us one last time. So, Lauren, another beautiful day to stroll as a bear, right?
Yeah, nice little frolic, a little run.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. It's going to be nice and warm again tomorrow. We have low 80s on the way tomorrow and Wednesday. By Thursday, we'll back off to 74. You'll feel a breeze. Friday, our seasonable day, 78, and then 80s return this weekend and into next Monday.
Sounds like the perfect time for me to check out Pincushion. I have yet to go, and I will.
Beautiful hike.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching. You guys have a great night.
CBS 47 Eyewitness News is on air, online, and on the go. Take Eyewitness News with you and share your stories with us on Facebook, Twitter, and on yourcentralvalley.com.
America's best-selling vehicle is going electric.
We're giving you unprecedented access live inside Ford's factory as the new F-150 Lightning rolls off the line.
Tomorrow morning at 7/6 Central on News Nation.
Do you know the fastest growing cable news network in America?
I'll give you a hint. It's News Nation. We're new.
news without the noise.
Come back to the news.
News Nation, news for all America.
Hi, Bruce here for Jackson Jewelers, where we buy your old gold. Professionally designed custom pieces, especially for you, or help you find the perfect bridal ring. Stop by and see us in Old Town Clovis. Jackson Jewelers, where we treat you like family.
CCLS volunteers bring justice to the community by protecting our friends, family, and neighbors. Our ensure stable housing, protect families from violence, and bring hope and empowerment to our community. Thank you for standing with us.
No matter what's happening outside with the Lennox Ultimate Comfort System, it's always perfect inside. Not just perfect air, perfectly tuned to your home air. And operates whisper quiet.
The Lennox Ultimate Comfort System. Perfect air, fully realized. Don't you wish everything was perfect? Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Call Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning today.
Need help? CBS 47 is on your side. Contact us.
The Washington Post is reporting that White House records turned over to congressional investigators show a 7-hour gap in President Trump's phone logs from the day of the deadly siege on the U.S. Capitol.
There is a listing at 11:17 a.m. The president talked on a phone call to an unidentified person.
The Late Show has unmasked the identity of the 11:17 a.m. call.
Vice President Mike Pence. I'll take a pizza. Extra poisonous.
If this is really Mike Pence, say something only he would say.
I love the Bible and mayonnaise.
Okay, Mr. Vice President, you said you wanted what on your pizza?
I said, give it to me with deadly poison.
We don't have poison, but people tend to get ill from our calzones.
Okay, I'll take 2.
Will that be cash or credit?
Mexico will pay for the calzones.
It's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Tonight, Bernard Tony and Sandra Bullock takes the Colbert questionnaire. Plus, Stephen welcomes Hannah Gatsby. And musical guest, Buffalo Nichols. Featuring John Baptiste and Stay Human. And now, live on tape from the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York City, it's Stephen Colbert.
Hello, friend. Hello. What's up? What's going on, Lewis? Please have a seat, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and we, right now, is this true? Do I have this right? We are almost 5 weeks into Russia's 3-day conquest of Ukraine. And while Putin's monstrous war against the Ukrainian people continues to grind on, there have been some interesting developments in the peace talks taking place down in Istanbul. Here's one thing. To signal their willingness to compromise, the Russians have just announced that they will sharply reduce military activity near Kyiv, an area where, and I'm sure this is just a coincidence, they're getting their ass handed to them by the Ukrainians. In a related story, nothing to do with the... In a related story from March Madness, after losing to North Carolina, St. Peter's has announced they will sharply reduce basketball activity near the Final Four. So anyway, the peace talks continue, and today we saw a few signs of progress, including Ukraine's proposal for a 15-year process of negotiations